Welcome to our last segment of SeniorFlix. Today we have a very special guest with us. As you know, here at SeniorFlix, our vision has been to create a platform where seniors can have a voice and their stories are told. And today, I want to introduce to you Pastor Ron Matheson. He is the Director of Spiritual Life Department as well as Funds Development here at Shepherd Village. And he's the man behind giving this vision a place where it could become reality. So today we're going to just tap into some of his wisdom. And so join me. We look forward to having him and discussing that with him. Pastor Ron, welcome.
Thank you,
Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you.
As you know, this is our last shooting of the season 2.
Right.
So I thank you so much for taking time to be here. There's so much to capture. You have so much wisdom, your leadership, your experiences. I want to tap into that. There are articles that you write in a magazine called Sage. There's one particular one that I want to talk to you about today, and I think you mentioned the concept of the third place in this article. Would you like to share about this magazine and this article and what you mean by third place?
Sure. It's been my privilege to write and sit on the editorial board for SAGE with Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada. And rather than trying to create our own magazine here at Shepherd Village, we've sponsored the SAGE magazine. And as that, they've asked me to contribute as well. So I've enjoyed over the last 15 years being able to do that. Some of the stories. Someone asked me, can you tell your story? And I sort of chuckled because I think, well, my story is often written out in different ways and things that are meaningful for me. This one you referred to is the third place, and I, what I thought I might do today is just sort of read that and see how that goes. And I've written it out. And you can access this as you want. It's titled Grateful for the Third Place. And I started that because after COVID, there was so much that everyone went through. I thought it was important to find that gratitude. And it's one of those things that sort of helps you survive no matter what. Identifying something you can be grateful for. And there are times when it's really difficult to find anything to be grateful for. And yet it's there if you look close enough. And for me, sometimes, and I can chat about that in one of the other articles, sometimes it was just a morning coffee at a cafe and getting out, sitting down with a good book or a magazine, or just sitting and relaxing over a cup of cappuccino or latte. So let me just read and see how it works for us. Occasionally, a barista serves up the perfect cup of coffee or latte. Recently, I ordered a maple-flavored latte, and the presentation was really exquisite. The top layer with its steamed milk froth was a dense, rich 1-inch foam. Now, I love that about my lattes. And the funny thing about the foam is it doesn't mix always really well, so you got to sort of spoon it out. But the next layer of espresso was a darker maple cream color, separated from the thick, creamy bottom layer, floating in a glass cup. And as I carefully cradled the liquid gold, it floated from side to side. So you can picture this floating from side to side, and it doesn't mix together. It just sort of, you got the top layer, you got the middle layer, and then you got the bottom. And I don't know about you, but I would love to have a latte right now, just talking about it. So the work of art by the barista was absolutely exquisite. And those who follow my articles will know that my wife, Darla, and I have enjoyed riding a motorcycle for about 20 years now. And you will know that we've taken some exciting trips together. And you will also know that Darla refused to ride on the back of my bike anymore. And she thinks I'm getting too old for the both of us. And if you've read any of my other articles or heard my stories about it, you'll realize that there's a reason why she doesn't be on the back of my bike. Do you know why?
Please share, Pastor Juan.
I've laid the bike down a couple of times when she was on it, and for some reason she didn't think that was a lot of fun. So you can imagine laying the bike over, but so she doesn't ride with me now. But having said that, the guys I ride with have discovered, as my wife and family could attest, that I have a penchant for cafes. So it's the warm ambiance that entices me. And I'll go out of my way to avoid chain restaurants. So if you're inviting me out for dinner, do not offer to take me to a chain restaurant. I want a boutique restaurant. I want a person-friendly cafe or a down-home diner. That's just, but there are reasons that I like that. It's become a bit of a joke, as my friends suggest that I should probably weigh a few hundred pounds because I like the bakeries that go with it too. So it's not necessarily the health food place to stop, but the oven fresh chocolate croissant and a latte or a cappuccino. I mean, isn't
My mouth's watering right now.
yeah. I mean, there's nothing like it. But it's more than that. Most cafe owners know the difference between a cafe and a restaurant. Do you know what can you picture yourself in a restaurant right now? And it's around 5 o'clock at night, and what's the experience?